Welcome back to another episode of Fueling the Flame. I'm your host, Mason Miller, and today we are joined by the men's cross-country team. Today we are here with Trevor Swanson and Topher Davis. Thanks for joining the show, guys.
Very happy to be here.
Thank
Pleasure.
you.
Absolutely. So, you guys are both fifth-year seniors. Trevor is from, correct me if I'm wrong, Chabansey, Illinois. Is that how you say it?
Shabans.
They just got their first stoplight recently.
Gas station.
Gas station. Oh, okay. I thought it was
The first gas station.
Yep, no stoplights, just a gas station.
What's the population of Chabansey?
I think we're 4 digits. I think it's 1,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, if you didn't know where Chabansey was, Trevor can show you on a map someday. We're not going to take the time to do that. But Topher is from Crystal Lake, Illinois, and this past year he actually won an academic all-conference award. So congratulations.
Oh, nice. Thank you. I didn't know I did that. So
you didn't know you did that?
No, I was not sure, but thank you.
Well, I'm glad. I'm the first one to tell you that you won the Dave Rath.
I did not know that.
Congrats.
The Dave Rath Academic All-Conference Award 2023.
I did not know that.
There you go.
Look at me.
Well, according to the athletic
Yeah.
the athletic website, you won an
Checks
award.
out.
Does it actually?
That checks out. You're a
Dang.
smart guy.
It's impressive.
Well, I don't
More
have
than
anything.
just an athlete, apparently.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what we're trying.
That's
That's what we strive
Putting
to do.
the student
Put it
in
the
student
student
athlete.
in student athlete.
All right. We could get into that later, but let's just talk about the team. How's the season going, guys? Where are we at right now for cross country?
You wanna start it off?
Yeah, it's been really good. We're kind of getting into the real meat of our season at this point. Groups heading to a couple different places this weekend, but we've had some pretty good results thus far. Expecting some pretty big things out of it. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this previous week we just got ranked 8th in the region, which is the highest I believe the program's ever been.
Mhm.
So that's a real good step in the right direction. Like Topher was saying, probably the biggest meet of the season is this upcoming weekend for us. So a lot of good national teams will be there, a lot of regionally ranked teams. So be a very, very good step for us.
Mhm.
So where are you guys at this weekend? Where are you racing?
Augustana.
And then another group's going to Concordia, Wisconsin.
So you have
Split
two
meet.
Yeah.
split meet in two different places.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Splits up like that some of the time. Where
Yeah.
one group, like it's the top, like I think 12's going to the Augie meet.
Okay.
And then everybody else is going to Wisconsin private college championships.
Interesting. So then because you guys don't really have standings, you have like your scheduled meets and everything, and you guys have placements. So how
Sure.
do they determine? Because you guys don't have like a conference standings, but you have regional rankings. So how does that really work with determining where you fall in the rankings?
It's like a head-to-head thing kind of thing. So like
Okay.
our meet from the previous 2 weekends ago, like going into that meet, like we weren't ranked in the top 10. They just do top 10, and
Mhm.
we beat I think a team that was ranked 8th in the region, and maybe like 9th or something like that. So then we got bumped up to 8th, and then like one of the teams got dropped down to 9. So it's kind of like a head-to-head thing
Okay.
because there's not like
So it's not like an average of where you place, it's just kind of where you match up each individual meet.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with the head-to-head, and then they try and like it because we don't race the same people every weekend. They try and like adjust
Like
it based on
compare.
what group went where, like
Okay.
how we do other places. Our conference rankings come out like the week before, like conference normally starts. So
Yeah.
that'll be when that comes out, and we'll see.
It seems
how
a little
that-
confusing.
How that
it
is.
I mean, the rankings, the USTF CCCA regional rankings is what it's called.
it's a
Yeah.
mouthful. Yeah.
Do you
There's
guys
only
know
3 C's.
USTF CCCA?
I feel like when I type in the website, I type like 6 C's when I'm looking
That's
up
what it-
for
Yeah,
it. So
it's-
the
it's-
US,
I believe
the
you, I
USTF
believe you.
CCCCCA.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
it's United States Track and Field Cross Country Coaches Association.
Association. Oh,
That's impressive.
Yeah,
Hey, you guys got your stuff down.
it's a mouthful.
All right. So this, I don't know when this weekend was, but you guys ran with some cows apparently in Minnesota. Well, what is that? The running with the cows?
Yeah, it's just what the meet's called.
There
No,
were-
no,
it's
no
just-
cows, unfortunately.
So you weren't running with cows?
No,
Unfortunately,
not.
yeah.
It smelled like cows,
I was
but
gonna-
there was no
okay.
cows
They
there.
had 2 like cow like statues. We
Yeah.
were hoping whoever won the meet got to bring the
Okay.
cows. We were wondering how the cows came.
Bring a
into-
cow home.
Yeah,
to
like
Carthage?
how are we gonna fit it on the bus? Like that was what we were worried
That's
about.
Maybe like a golden cow. They could have given you like a trophy
Yeah,
or
we
something.
they could have given the
Yeah.
winning team some sort of like cow
So
to commemorate.
were you running on a farm? Like what is like? Is there any meaning to why they named the cows?
I think
cow
it was
running
Like,
or
I think it was kind of a farm, but like it was really just like an open prairie.
Yeah, it was at Carleton's like campus.
Yeah.
So we were running around there, but like it was based on the smells. You could assume there were likely cows in the area.
There was a farm nearby.
Yeah, there was definitely a farm nearby.
They were fertilizing that time of year?
Yeah.
Did that make it challenging having to race with that? I imagine that's got to make it pretty brutal.
Yeah, there was one part of it where we ran past like 3 times. That just reeked. So like,
Jesus.
it was a little. You had to hold your breath a little bit.
It was more noticeable for me the day before when we ran the course, like just like we just went for a traditional daily run around the course to know it. But on race day, I didn't notice it as much.
So you guys, okay.
I was too focused on how tired my legs were at that point that I was like, I can't. My back's tightening up. Like you said, 5th year, old man. So
hey, fair enough.
yeah.
Okay, so for the rest of the season, you guys kind of mentioned a little bit before with the conference racing and the rankings and everything. So how is this rest of the season going to work for, like, who wins conference? And then maybe if you do, like, any national tournaments, how is this season going to work?
Yeah, so we group heads to Augie this weekend, and the big thing for this one is you beating teams not in our region that are ranked, because then that gives you more points for, like, at-large bids. So obviously we wind up seeing all that matters when how you compete against your region is on, like, the actual regional day. So, like, how regional championships, I'm assuming, happens at some point for basketball as well. Like, as, like, you're moving through things. That's our, whatever that works out to, Final 16, Sweet 16, Elite 8, whatever that works out to. But on that day, that's when beating those teams matters. But beating, an Augustana this weekend, or I think last week we beat Cornell, and Cornell, and they're ranked in the Midwest region. Like, that's what builds up the at-large bids. Okay. So that way, come regionals, if we place high enough, then in theory we move on to nationals as a team and get an at-large bid, because only like the winning team
at
in each
regionals
region goes on, but then the next and 22 at-large bids.
32 total.
32 total. So
interesting.
it's kind of complex.
It's a very complicated process, but so the better we look against teams that aren't in our region, the better shot we have of going to nationals, because it makes our region look better. So the more teams they'll take out of our region to nationals.
I mean, just like you win conference for basketball, you go to the national tournament. Like, that's that automatic bid. But then if a team comes in second and they were beating up on teams in the other conferences, then it's
just all strength of schedule.
It's just boosting your resume. Yeah, strength of schedule. That's all it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I kind of want to talk about cross country culture. What is it actually like to be on the cross country team? So let's go through like a game day. You mentioned like maybe you kind of get to see the track up before.
Yeah.
So how does game day usually work? I know a lot of them are usually away games. So how does that work?
Yeah, so I mean, if it's a typically like farther meet, sometimes we'll go down like the day before. So like with that Carleton meet, we went down the meet day before, ran the course, just because none of us have seen it before, so just saw what it was, did that, did some strides, stretching afterwards, go out, get some dinner together. We actually went to the Mall of America because it was right next to it. Yeah.
Okay.
So
walked around that a little bit, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's
got
pretty
dinner
sweet.
there, just walked around a little bit.
Stayed out of trouble.
Yeah, and then go in for the night, wake up, do a little 10-minute shakeout in the morning, get to the course. Race was at 11:30, so girls' race was beforehand, but we got there, warm up an hour before, run the race, and then
warm up normally looks like just doing some stretching, like whether it's static or dynamic, just like your basic warms. Then we normally do a 15-minute jog.
Do you guys do any? Because I know for us, we do a lot of pregame, just in the locker room, blasting music, getting hype. Do you guys do any stuff like that?
It's very individual based on because certain things get certain people. I personally I don't like listening to music during that time. I'd rather be thinking everything through, mentally preparing for how
this may be a dumb question. Can you
feel.
Listen to music while you're can you?
No, not while we're. I think it's technically. I think people have. Our teammate Ethan Walker would be very fast if he were allowed to. It would be much faster. Ethan, I hope you're watching, but would be much faster if he were allowed to race with ear. But no racing with ear. But just very individual, based on what you need specifically before that kind of effort. So
What is it when you're in the race? Do you guys get nervous? Do you have pre-race nerves, or during the race you kind of how does it actually go while you're racing? What are you thinking? kind of what's the dynamic there?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like there's definitely some nerves before the race. I mean, just thinking about what you have to do, visualization. But like once the gun goes off, all the nerves just disappear because then you're just racing at that point. Like you're in a flow state. But I mean, yeah, you definitely have some nervous jitters before a race. But yeah, I mean, me personally, they go away during the race.
Yeah, it kind of just depends. Like I feel like I try to keep myself from getting nervous because I feel like nerves. Like if I'm getting nervous, it's all just like excitement. Like it's excitement.
It helps you.
And then in the race, like I mean, we say it to each other as like we're watching our teammates race, whether it's in cross country or track. It's like don't think, because like the worst thing you can do is think and like overthink, and then you psych yourself out. Like as like somebody might pass you, and you're just like, shoot, like I'm rolled. But now it's just like matching that, and just like letting it all go. So yeah.
During a race, do you guys have a strategy, or is it just pure you're running and you're just going as hard as you can? Is there any strategy to what you're doing in the race?
I mean, yeah, you're definitely pacing yourself because it's a 5-mile race, so you're not just like right away.
Is it always 5 miles?
For cross country, yeah.
Okay.
8K. Yeah. 4.97.
Yeah, 4.97
4.97 miles.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, you're definitely
too many miles for me, but
no.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's definitely strategies. I mean, because you want to like stay consistent throughout the race. I mean, obviously you don't want to die out, but so I mean, yeah.
But we also like we know like who's around us. Like we pay attention. Like coming into like we have a pre-race strategy and like all right, UW. We were talking about UW Platteville, like their basketball team.
Yeah.
And we like look at them and their cross country team. Be like our group needs to be with their group. Like we pay attention to like
interesting
where you need to be around like certain. Like it's not just like go out run. Like it's a team. Like your group tries to stick together as long as possible, and you may try and find other groups that you're supposed to like specifically be with.
So you're saying Carthage as a group will try to stick with another comparable team or a team that they're trying to
like our top
beat.
4 or our group 3.
Okay, interesting.
Like all right, find like just find their color jerseys. Like that's all it is.
Yeah,
like,
it might just look like people running, but like we can see all the jerseys when we're running, and we're like, all right, that's a really important jersey. We need to beat that guy right there. That one.
Okay, interesting.
So yeah.
So do you guys kind of have an idea who is good ahead of time and like what you're, because it's kind of like you guys scout, I guess, is what you would call it for cross country.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Interesting. I actually never considered that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then conditions, like the weather conditions, how does that affect your running? Because obviously we've talked about the manure, but maybe if it's that's obviously going to affect a lot of people.
Yeah.
But if it's starting to get cold now, so obviously at the start of the year in the summer it's pretty warm. Like, do the weather changes affect you? Like, what makes that challenging?
I think, me personally, the worst, like, specific weather condition to try and, like, run or race in, I don't care how windy, or not, how rainy it is, how cold it is, how warm it is. If it's windy, it's the worst.
Windy, okay.
Because, I'll, colder the better, in my, opinion. Because then you just don't overheat as easily, and you're not, sweating as much. But wind, I mean...
Why?
You can
Why wind?
Because if it's blowing right in your face and it's pushing
it's fighting against
slowing
you.
you down a little bit, so.
Yeah. Wind is definitely the worst enemy for sure. I mean, because I honestly like it better the later in the season because, it gets chillier.
Colder,
Like, running those September meets honestly suck because it's just
I would have
high 80s, almost 90 degrees, and that's terrible.
Even 70 degrees.
Yeah.
I don't really.
Yeah.
I would pick a...
Give me
high 40s,
give me 45
low 50s.
Degree weather. That's the best.
I'm right there with you. I did soccer in high school, and anytime we did anything over the summer, fall, spring, and it's 70, I'm tapping out after going up and down the field. I'm like, Coach, give me. I can't keep going. So I'm right there with you with the heat, and even for a hot gym. It's there's a
if there's not
there's a little
AC.
You want it cool, but you also don't want it too cold where your hands are cold, and that affects how you play. But
Exactly.
I feel like that's a big thing. But what about maybe traction? Like if it's really muddy and wet versus dry and hard ground, does that affect how you run?
I mean, yeah. I mean, because obviously the more muddy, you're not gonna have the best traction. You'll be slipping and sliding everywhere. Because we had a meet last year that was just a mud fest. It was at the Augie meet last year.
Oh my gosh, it was horrible.
And it was downpour 2 days before, just constantly. Yeah, so it was just a
slipping on every turn. But that's one of those times where the strategy of it comes into play.
The
If
strategy,
all right, these portions are particularly muddy, and then we have
Okay.
quarter-inch to half-inch metal spikes in the bottom of our shoes on a race. So, like, maybe then we go with a longer spike. So that way, like, you get a little better traction as opposed to, like, a shorter one.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, did you guys fall down, or, like, if you fall, are you kind of, like, screwed, or?
We had...
Shout out Ethan
Yeah,
Walker
speaking
again.
of Ethan Walker, Ethan went up a bunch. But, yeah, he went down, I think, like 200 meters into the race. Like, it was not... I stopped to, like, turn... Because, like, it's a race of 600 people.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's a bit like it's this many.
I never realized that. Holy
400 or
crap.
500 maybe.
that-
I might be over it.
That's a big race.
But like when,
Holy
and then
crap.
you see your brother, friend, teammate go down. You're like,
Get
oh
away.
shoot! I need to make sure he didn't get stepped on his. Like that was about. It was probably
Oh, my.
bad of me to like stop running because like I mean it's the middle of a race. But I was like, I just want to make sure he didn't get stepped. Like the back of his head stepped on. Like,
That is crazy.
yeah, people go down
Jeez.
or like you'll get. It's a lot more physical of like in those kinds of situations.
Okay.
It's a lot more physical than I think some people. Like elbows get thrown. Like it gets
Interesting.
you get pushy. Yeah.
You get physical?
I'm a physical runner. I'll admit it.
So, like,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Like
specifically?
I'll like put my hand like on their back and just like move them out
Yeah.
of the way. Like
Really?
if they're slowing down, I'm like just get out of the way.
Yeah. Or
And
just
then,
like
Well, I mean, you're not going to be thrown,
Bump-
like,
bump
a flag's
back.
not going to be thrown on you during a race.
no.
So you can kind of get away with some stuff.
Yeah, I mean as long as you're not like
Within reason. Like
throwing
I
someone to the
can't.
ground.
You can't shove somebody into like the woods. Like I think I've come close to that. But like you can give them a gentle.
Yeah.
Like let them know
Chicken
you're
wing.
there.
Give 'em a
Yeah,
chicken wing.
exactly.
like
Okay.
around corners, give me some space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever had a thing where you saw the other team kind of do a dirty move on one of your guys, and then you run up and take them out to kind of get revenge?
Never gone up and taken them out.
Is it that petty, or is it kind of
We've
just...
said
Trevor's smiling.
we both are thinking of the same thing.
I have this memory from Augie. This one's from 2 years ago though. R.I.P. Dylan Moran, Ethan Walker once again. Dylan, he took a flag. There's like flags up like the side that like lines it. He took a flag and like pulled it back, and it came back to Walker, and it went back at him.
In
and
the
I was
face.
like, all right, Walker. And then immediately then we just went and then just left him. So
That's crazy.
We'll say some not nice words, I'm sure, some of the time too, as things get a little more. In the heat of the moment, things get said, but like, I mean, if you put hands on, like, same thing. If like somebody gets shoved and no call gets made, I bet the entire bench is
Right.
up and
Okay.
like screaming.
Yeah.
Like we have those same reactions. Like if we see something or we hear something, like we don't. It's on site.
Okay, this may be really dumb and naive of me, but is there a strategy where maybe you have one guy that just leaves the group, like you usually run in groups, right?
Yeah.
One guy leaves the group and kind of like just takes out another guy on another team.
No, never.
and kind of
like,
just stops their whole race, but then the rest of the
we
team
had that
keeps
happen
going.
to us,
Is
kind
that a
of.
strategy?
I mean, this is track now, but like the 10K last year.
Oh yeah.
There are people that will do like similar but not like they won't get physical and like knock them out of the race or anything like that. But like people will specifically I don't think we've ever like specifically targeted some, but
Okay.
like it happens in
Okay.
cross country track, something like that. It's the same thing. Like you know who the other people are going to be in the race,
Yeah.
so you know who to look for in terms of like faces or jerseys.
So speaking of knowing who to look for, in basketball, well, before college, before we did like full-on team scouts, like in high school or in AAU over the summers, the best way to get an idea of who you're playing against and how good they were is to do like a pregame scout, like warm-up scout. So you're like in the layup lines, and you're kind of looking over, seeing like, oh, what do they look like?
Yeah.
What are they wearing? Maybe what's like their drip, or how do they look in warm-ups? Like, are they hitting shots, or do they look like
Sure.
terrible? Is there something like that in cross country where you see a dude, maybe he's warming up, or maybe based on what he's wearing, you can kind of tell like, oh, he's really good, or he's like, okay, this guy's kind of chump change.
I mean, like kind of.
Is it the shorter the shorts, the better they are?
I think so. Yeah.
Really?
You can tell by the shoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The shoes is probably an easier
Yeah.
signal than
What indications
if
of
they have
these shoes?
dragonflies on.
Yeah.
They're Nike. They're a Nike spike that you'll see
Okay.
more of the like better. Everyone wears them now, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you saw someone not wearing them, you'd be like, oh, it's a little interesting. It's an
Yeah.
interesting choice.
Okay.
So
What about running form. Is that a thing? Because
Yeah.
for basketball, you look if you see a dude in his jump shots, I guess broke, and you're like, okay, this guy's not. But for like running form, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Based on how someone runs.
Yeah, you would think, but I mean, we got someone on our team whose form is pretty
He
trash.
looks fun. He looks a little interesting while running, but like it's.
But he's our best guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
At the end
Shut
of the
up,
day,
Boots.
if it ain't broke, I mean, you know,
Yeah,
don't fix
it's not-
it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What's something that, as your time as an athlete, that you've learned, or maybe some advice you could have for people based on your experience?
Oh yeah. Our coach said something very similar to us. He said it a couple of times. This might jog like a memory, but like being in college, you have a very unique opportunity to kind of go all in on something for 4 years. In our blessed case, it's 5. So like you have an opportunity to go all in on something. So like pick something and like do it to the best of your ability. Like whatever that looks like. My best of my ability looks very different than like Trevor or whoever else on our team, or you in your case. Like it looks very different, but that's like my pouring everything I have. And I'm glad to say I feel like I have done that with cross country and track in my time. And that's what I tell everyone that I get asked is like, whatever you do, do it to the best of your ability for your time, because you can go all in on something in college for however long you're there. So
that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great answer. And like to go along with that, just go all in because it goes by so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel like a fifth year.
No.
Like it feels like I just got on campus here yesterday. Like it went by in a blink of an eye. So I mean, just enjoy it, soak up every moment. Going to practice every day is the best part of my day with my teammates.
Yeah.
It's like it's just soak every moment up. It goes by quick. Just live in the moment. Don't think ahead. Patience. Just one foot at a time.
What do you think has changed the most since your time as a freshman? If you can't think of anything, I may have some ideas for you.
I mean, maybe my teammates would disagree, but probably just like maturity, maybe.
Oh,
like,
sure.
Like just like how I go about things more, like focusing on little things and just like. Oh God.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, maybe my hairstyle.
Wendy's.
Yeah, maybe just my hairstyle and growth. Look, every single year I just have a different headshot. Look at this.
Graduate student.
Look at this. That's crazy.
I'm really concerned about your guys' sophomore year. It looks like COVID hit you guys
we
really,
were dialed that year.
really hard. You guys look doom and gloom. Just don't mess with us. We're
we
coming out.
We were dialed that year.
Yeah. See, I
Oh
mean,
my
yeah,
gosh.
maybe that's something like you can learn from, because I think we started taking it too hard our sophomore year, and we kind of, from our freshman year to our sophomore year, we're like, all right, we're hard, we're gonna take this super seriously now, and then fast forward to our junior year, we're like, because we didn't really do well our sophomore year, so like fast forward to our junior year, we're like taking it easy,
That's when things like,
have more
turned
fun
from a team.
Enjoy it a little more.
Like from a team circumstance,
Okay.
like if you look at like results, whether it's in conference or like I feel like the feel of the team like changed around that time. Like, it's not like a specific point, but like we have our fun, but like I feel like especially this year, in general, it is like when we have to lock in, it's like all right, it's like I got very upset. Like I got very fired up yesterday during our workout and got upset with teammates about like not upset with teammates. Sorry, my group, but you just get very like. You're in the heat of the moment. You're like, all right, let's freaking.
You're very
go.
enthusiastic
like,
and passionate.
Like,
about
yeah,
it.
exactly. Like if it's like, come on, it's one of those things. But yeah, we'll lock in. But we have a lot of fun. Like, I mean, like Trevor said, we spend every day with each other. So last week, me and like the group I was running with, we sang "Lose Yourself" by Eminem, but it was as questions. So we'd be like, what's on your sweatshirt already? And then be like, Mom, spaghetti. And then we just like went through, like basically the entire, ice cream messed it up. But we went through the entire song saying it like that. So it's like, it's fun. But then like immediately after, it's like, all right.
You got to flip the switch and
exactly.
have that dynamic where you can have a little fun.
But then still be able to turn it on when you need to.
Exactly.
So.
I mean, I just can't get over this haircut change from Trevor. Freshman to sophomore year, and then he had some stability afterwards.
You
but
should see some of the high school pictures of Trev.
Yeah,
I didn't
say,
go-
Some of them are even long. You don't have to go. You don't have to go that, but some
I
of them
should
are
have gone
even,
that deep. I wasn't
are
thinking
even
about
long.
that.
Like his,
Yeah.
you go. To, I don't even know if they're still on your Instagram, but some of
Maybe.
the
Cause
of the hair used to be.
It was way longer than that freshman year, and then I completely buzzed it like to between,
Over the summer, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed we didn't get either of our buzz cuts in as pictures in this because I
You got a
buzzed
buzz
mine.
cut too?
Yeah, not long ago.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
I
I mean,
I don't think my girlfriend would approve.
Okay.
Yeah.
She likes the. I'm sure
Same
the
here,
same.
yeah.
Doesn't want the long hair or the buzz cut.
Yeah.
maybe let's not show them the sophomore Trevor's picture. We'll try to keep that on the DL. But it is public information if
It
anybody's
is. You
looking.
can't
for it.
find it. It's funny. Do you guys ever go back and look at like your coaches like headshots?
Dude.
Like we've gone back and pulled up like Coach looked like when like what his like some of his headshots are.
We got a Steve Jurkovich big like fat head sticker in the coach's offices. I don't know if you ever
Oh,
done
sure.
that.
Yeah.
Just when he was a
I might have
player.
to peek in there.
So he's just like he's a kind of like a skinnier, scrawnier guy.
Yeah.
But he's a little fiery too. So it's always interesting to see back how your coach is looking at you.
Yeah.
So. Okay, I think it's time for the special segment. So today's special segment is going to be a cross-country fantasy draft. So how this is going to work, I set a couple rules. You have to draft your cross-country. I guess we can do. Let's do top 5 for now, and then see how much time we have left.
Okay.
So you're going to pick a cross-country team of 5 people. They have to be fictional characters from movies or TV shows.
Okay.
They can't have superpowers, so they can't have super speed or like flight or anything like that.
Okay.
That would be cheating.
Can they
so.
be animals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know how you guys. We can do like a snake draft where someone picks the next and then it flips the next round.
Sure.
So I don't know if you guys have a preference for.
I will look at your list.
You got it
All right,
memorized.
who wants to go first? No,
Yeah,
I'm all off the dome.
Who's got first pick?
I don't know.
We'll give the host first.
Yeah.
We'll give.
no,
You
no,
give me
no.
first
Yeah,
pick?
you
You
go.
sure?
Yeah, no worries.
Since he may be at a disadvantage. Since he's not
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
I did some
Don't have
research.
the eye.
Okay.
just
We'll
kidding.
see. We'll.
See, I try. Yeah.
He's trying to get me off my game. All right. Well, first pick. I don't know where you guys are gonna take this, but I'm gonna go with Run, Forrest Gump.
Oh, Forrest
First
Gump.
pick.
That's
a
a good
classic.
one.
That's a classic.
First pick. It
That's
is a
pretty
classic.
solid. Yeah.
He's got the determination. He's got the grit. He's got definitely the cardio. I think
True.
to
True.
put up a competitive race.
Sure.
Okay.
You want to go next?
Yeah, I'll give you the turn.
Yeah, I'll take the 3.
All right,
3-1
I have a guy who is kind of along the same lines as that. I'm going with Rocky Balboa.
Oh,
That was my number 2.
interesting.
That was my
Yep.
number 2.
Yep.
Good pick.
Okay. I don't know the guy's name, but the guy from Temple Run, like that just never stops running. I'm going him
I can live and try to
with
Google
one. Yeah, I don't know if he even
I love
has a
that.
name, but the guy from the
Just
Temple
Temple,
Run,
yeah.
just Temple Run guy.
I love
That is a
I
He's
love
genius
that.
my
pick.
he's
I
my
love
first
that.
overall, and in the second round to kick it off, I will take Tom Cruise from any of the Mission Impossible
Okay.
movies
Okay.
because he's
okay.
always running around. But so yeah, that's my second pick.
That's good.
To answer
That's
your
good.
question from before, it looks like Temple Run the player, Guy Dangerous. Does that sound right?
Guy Dangerous? I have no clue. I didn't even know if he had a
According,
name.
wait,
It's a pretty
Wikipedia.
sick name though.
Guy
Guy
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
We'll go with. I'm not sure if that's his
Guy
actual name.
Fieri's brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, that was such a good pick. I can't even lie.
Wow.
That's so creative.
That's good. All right. My pick then.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go with. Shout out Boots. Jon Snow.
Jon Snow.
He's just a great leader.
Great leader.
He's going for.
I imagine he has some pretty good cardio.
Oh,
so
sure,
we're gonna
sure.
go Jon Snow. He's a great leader. You need that vocal
Jon
leader.
Snow.
Put him in today's technology too.
That's what I'm saying. Give him
Like,
a
get
pair
him
of
out of the
dragonflies.
boots. Yeah. Get him some nice carbon-plated shoes.
Doesn't got that chainmail anymore. He'll be
Yeah,
fine.
he'll be fine.
You guys snipe. Okay, I was gonna take Rocky. He was
Okay.
on my board, but you got snipes. So, I'm gonna go with someone who's always running away and never gets caught. I'm going Scooby Dooby Doo.
Oh,
Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
Scooby's not bad.
He's got the
Shout
scramble
out Scoob.
ability. I know.
I had Shaggy on my list, so I'll just take Shaggy off. But yeah, that's a good.
Fair
pick.
enough.
That's a good pick.
So I go back to back now.
Yeah.
So I got Forrest Gump and Scooby. I got some great characters. I'm gonna kind of follow the Mission Impossible thing, where they're always running. I'm gonna go with James Bond.
James
He
Bond.
was on my list too.
Dude, we got the same draft
You
board.
Yeah.
guys got interesting. Nice.
Okay.
Right, you ready?
I got something on my sleeve. Don't worry.
Yeah, you got something ready to go.
All right, I'll go one who's always running as well, who just seems like he has unlimited stamina. Shout out Craig. I'm going with the default skin in Fortnite.
Specifically the default
Yep,
skin?
yep.
Oh.
That is my pick.
With like pickaxe or with...
Yeah, he can have a pickaxe and he's still running.
Oh, he's still running?
Yeah,
Okay, okay. I'm ready. Ready? Ready for this? I'm going with the Roadrunner.
Ooh.
Does that have speed? Super speed?
I mean,
Oh
just
my
running. They never
gosh.
specify. He's just really fast.
I don't know if I like that pick.
Is that? Does he?
Scooby-Doo does the same thing with his legs when he gets ready to run away.
Fine.
But-
I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it.
Fine, we'll let him have it. It's creative enough.
I saw it, but
And
I was like, I
then,
guess he has super speed.
I'm in the middle of a Parks and Rec rewatch, so I'm going Chris Traeger from Parks and Rec. He talks about how he runs 10 miles a day
Wow.
earlier
Chris
on.
Traeger.
So,
There you go.
yeah.
So you go from taking Roadrunner to Chris Traeger from
Yeah.
Parks and Rec.
Played by Rob Lowe.
Oh,
So,
it's that guy.
Yeah,
There you go. There you go.
I was ready.
Mm.
Alright, that's the end of my list, though, so.
How many? Wait, you've taken 4.
I'm at 4. Yeah.
Let's do. Do you guys have enough to do 7? Should we do
Yeah.
7?
Yeah.
7 picks. Okay.
I get it. All right. Next pick. I'm going with guy with one of the goofiest runs ever, Jack Sparrow.
Dude, that was on my list
Really?
too. Come on.
That's so funny.
What the heck? Ah, shoot. Messing up my board. He's off the board. I already took him. So I got 3 pick. Oh, I picked him. Okay. I'm gonna go with another classic combo. I'm going from the Tom and Jerry group. I'm going with Jerry.
Ooh, classic.
I don't know who's faster, but I'm going Jerry.
I would assume it's Jerry. Tom can never catch him, so. you would think-
Exactly.
you would think.
I'm going Jerry, and then my next pick. So this is my 5th pick. I'm gonna go with someone who's gonna shake it up a little bit. We talked about getting physical during the races and how that can be advantageous. I'm going with the Tasmanian Devil.
Ooh, okay. I like it.
Gonna give the Roadrunner some problems.
Get physical. All right, I'll go along those lines then. I'm taking Bugs Bunny.
Oh,
Bugs Bunny.
Bugs is
He was my
solid.
next pick.
Some would say the leader of the Looney Tunes. Do-it-all guy.
I like it. I love it actually.
I got one sec. I need to look up the name of this guy. I can't. Alright, so I know I have 2 picks. So for this will be my, I don't even know if this is allowed. Once again, we're going off.
Oh, I'm taking the Flash.
No, I'm not that. No. From McFarland, USA, I'm going Danny Diaz. If you haven't seen the movie McFarland, it's a great watch.
I have
but
not.
I'm going Danny Diaz. I need a glue guy on my team holding everything
Alright.
together. And then my next pick, have you guys ever seen the movie The Maze Runner?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going with Thomas. And how they're always running around through the maze.
I
Is
read
that
the
the
books.
I feel like
main
he's,
one?
yeah, the main guy. I feel like just great engine. Just always.
Okay.
He's got the will to survive.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Good.
That's true. All right. My next one, I'm just gonna take my boy, Harry Potter. That's my guy. That's my guy right there.
Harry Potter.
Yep. No real reason.
Is he gonna be able to race in the glasses though?
Yeah, he's fast on a broom. He's got to be fast on his legs. So
Oh.
I'm taking him right there.
I'm gonna go with. How many picks do I have left? I took 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm gonna go G.I. Joe,
Oh.
Okay.
and then my last one. You can strike this if you want, but I've been saving this. Shout out Tanner Lamb for this pick. I'm going Lightning McQueen.
Oh.
Does that count?
Are we going?
That's along the
See-
same lines as road runner.
No, see, if we're doing Lightning McQueen, I got another one ready to go then. But like, can we pick cars?
I don't know. It's up to you guys.
We'll allow it.
I
Just,
like my
that
team.
way it lets me make my next
Yeah,
pick.
I like my team anyway.
We've set the
I
precedent.
mean,
I'm fine.
okay, I'll go. I don't like it, but I'm gonna go with Lightning McQueen. I just think it's
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
the way he drifts around the dirt corners. I mean, it's classic. It's iconic.
That is true. That is true. All right, to round out my top 7, I'm going with Mario. Classic. Do it all guy. I feel like it'll be decent.
Handyman.
He might find a power up on the way.
Exactly.
You never know what happens.
Dive in a little pipe right there. Cut to the finish line. Easy.
He's thinking outside the box. I'm not.
With my last pick, since we've set the precedent with Lightning McQueen,
Here we go.
I'm going Turbo, the snail from the movie Turbo.
That was another guy.
It might be superpowers, but we've set the precedent.
What is it? I know he's fast, but how does he get his?
I can't remember.
Do you
I've
remember?
never seen the movie. I just know he's fast.
Yeah.
Doesn't he like get in some freak accident and then he gets
Probably.
the powers of like nitro or whatever? I don't even.
Probably.
Yeah, I think I've seen the movie once or twice, so I don't really remember.
Yeah. Well, I've seen Cars probably 30
Car-
times.
It's a
Yeah.
great movie.
It is.
When we met last week, I was telling you how we've been, me and my group of like my pace group, we've been talking a lot about Cars lately.
Is that why you got really mad the other day? It's just because they never seen
No,
McFarlane before?
I was joking around with them during it, talking about Cars though. I think during our workout yesterday.
I got you.
I bring up Cars.
Shout out Connor Wood.
Shout out Connor. Yeah, Connor and I go back and forth on everything. So
Well, you guys can go back and forth in these teams. My starting 7, I got Forrest Gump, Tasmanian Devil, Scooby-Doo, Lightning McQueen, G.I. Joe, James Bond, and Jerry from Tom and Jerry. What do you guys got?
Sounds fun.
I'm gonna have to remember mine.
Do you remember?
So yeah, now I have to go back
Yeah.
and think.
I got it.
Go ahead.
I got Bugs Bunny, Jon Snow, Default Foreskin, Default Fortnite Guy, Jack Sparrow, Harry Potter, and Rocky Balboa.
I had Tom Cruise, Turbo. Oh, the Temple Run guy.
That's such a
guy,
good. I can't
Guy
even. That's such a
Dangerous.
good pick.
Guy Dangerous. I said Turbo. Roadrunner, Chris Traeger. I can't remember any of the others. I'm missing 2.
Danny Diaz.
Danny
Is that
Diaz.
his name?
That's right. I needed the glue.
Danny
Needed
Diaz.
The glue guy.
Did you say Tom Cruise there?
Yeah, I said Tom Cruise.
How many do you have? 6? Is that?
Yeah, I'm at 6. I'm missing one of my big names. Oh, Thomas from Maze Runner. That's what I'm missing.
Thomas.
Yeah.
So the winning team,
Uh-huh.
the redeemed team, some would say.
The Redeem Team. Okay. Well, we'll have to let the fans vote if anybody does watch this episode.
Let us know in the comments.
For real. Okay. I guess that kind of finishes the episode. Thanks for hopping on. This will be, I think, a really fun one. I had a lot of fun learning about cross country. I knew nothing going into it, so you guys have been great. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us on. It's truly a pleasure to be able to, be the
Great
second episode.
Second,
number
the
2.
first Carthage
First
athletes.
athletes. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Put us in the history books.
You're going to be in the history books for sure. So, yeah, that concludes this episode. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks to Trevor and Topher for joining the show. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Go Birds.